Yes, ma'am, we are going live. So we'll be starting with this. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I'm your host, Dr. Anjum Qureshi, and I welcome you all for Beyond Education, inspiring stories to inspire the world. It's, it is a unique talk show that invites people from different spheres to share their success stories with us. And I am happy to share that we have already finished 100 episodes of Beyond Education, and it is more than 3 months. We have speakers from different parts of the world to share their stories with all of us because we believe everyone has a story that can inspire millions of people around the world. Today, we have with us a very special guest, Mrs. Nirmala Devi from Malaysia. I welcome you, ma'am, for the show.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anjum, for inviting me in today's session. I'm thankful to IDYM Foundation for the opportunity given to me today. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Yeah, ma'am. Actually, it is an opportunity given to us by the founder of IDY Group of Companies, Ravi Shankar. So he's a person who has been working tirelessly behind the screens to bring back-to-back sessions of this Beyond Education. Well, before starting with the introduction, I would just like to introduce and short over today's guest. So today's guest, Mrs. Nirmala Devi Kandaswamy, she is an ESL educator and head of English language department at SK St. Patrick, Malaysia. She is IELTA Malaysia Ambassador, Chief of IELTA Learners Development Department, SDGs Planner and Coordinator, Microsoft Innovative Educator, Expert, and Master Trainer. So this was a short about our speaker. So, ma'am, to start with, I would just like to know, like, who actually is Mrs. Nirmala Devi? I would like to know something about your background, like where are you from, about your childhood days and achievements during your childhood.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anjum. Actually, I'm a Malaysian, born and brought up in West Malaysia in a state called Penang. So Penang is an island famously known for its food, people, and places of interest. But for the past 20 years, after I finished my studies, I got married in Penang, and then my husband was transferred to to East Malaysia. So I'm in East Malaysia with my husband and my two children and my mom for the past 20 years. So twice a year or once a year, I will usually go to my hometown in Penang in West Malaysia, where Kuala Lumpur is located. So I'm sure many of you who are watching there, I'm sure you know Kuala Lumpur. There's a capital city of our country. So Penang is quite near to Kuala Lumpur, which will be by flight 40 minutes. By land, it will be like 5 hours journey by driving. And I've got two children. My son is Vagesh. He's 21 years old this year. He's doing medical course in one of the public universities in Malaysia. My daughter is in a high school. She's 17 years old. And my husband is working as a police officer in East Malaysia. So I'm thankful to be joining in as a teacher. I've been teaching for the past 23 years. I'm teaching English language for elementary school students. However, I also do freelancing teaching for students in Teachers Training College and also in university undergraduate students who are taking diploma and bachelor degrees for English language. So, my childhood days, it was quite good, happy, And I was, as I said earlier, I was brought up in Penang, and I can't remember much because it has been a long time. So, but I remember I had good childhood days. Yes, and I've visited India twice, especially South India. I think a decade ago. So hopefully, in upcoming years, I hope to visit India again. Yeah.
Wow, that's great, ma'am. You're always welcome to India.
Thank
And
you.
now, ma'am, can you just tell, why you choose to be an educator? You're telling about like you're teaching English and also freelance teaching you happens, right? So why did you choose to be an educator?
Okay, this is a very good question. That because since young, I like to study on my own, and also with the help of my fellow teachers from kindergarten, elementary, high school, up to tertiary education. So from there I noticed that I have passion in teaching. I have passion in learning. So that could be one of the reasons that I really want to become a teacher, an educator. So my focus was only one, to become an educator. So once I managed to enroll in Teachers Training College, I became an educator, and then managed to engage with many global educators, local educators, in not only empowering the teachers but also empowering the students. So teaching for me is not only for the students but also for other teachers as well. I teach and I learn also at the same time from others. So for me, like we say in our language, mother tongue language, guru. So guru, like we used to say, there's a slogan. We used to believe that Mada Pida Guru Deva, meaning to say, uh, so guru is one of the persons that we usually oblige, we pay respect, and we learn from the guru. So I always have this habit, attitude of not only learning for myself but also learning from others. As young as even a little child can teach us good values, something that we can't get from any books. So I don't have any ego in learning anything from anybody. So that's why I always feel that learning can happen at any time. We can learn from anybody, not only from our own setting. Yeah. So that is simple explanation about why I choose to become a teacher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wonderful, ma'am. We should be learning always. And as you were talking about guru, yes, ma'am. Even we believe in India. Yes, this is the same term we use for teachers. Guru Deva,
Yes.
Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu. That is what we have
Yes.
been saying. There's again a long slug after all in Sanskrit that was said,
Mm-hmm.
where we treat teachers equivalent to God. Yes.
Yes.
And
Okay.
ma'am, as you mentioned in your profile that you are an IELTA Malaysia ambassador. So, ma'am, can you just tell something about your role in this?
Which one, ma'am? Which one are you saying?
IELTA, you have mentioned the thing.
Oh, IELTA. Okay,
IELTA,
IELTA.
okay.
Yes, yes. IELTA Malaysia Ambassador. IELTA is a short form for International English Language Teachers Association. It is an international association where it was established in 2021, and they are actually getting the help from educators from around the globe to start a branch in their country. So we have IELTA in India, IELTA in Malaysia, IELTA in many other countries we have. So being an ambassador, meaning to say, I have few teachers to work with me in order to engage, to conduct workshop, webinars for the educators and students so that they are able to get more knowledge in learning, teaching and learning techniques, tips and tricks related to English language for free. We do not charge anything for membership. We do not charge anything for the webinars, workshop that is happening not only in Malaysia under IELTA, but also around the globe. So it is a platform for teachers to learn and to empower their students or with other educators as well. So we have webinars for teaching, listening, speaking, reading, writing, vocabulary, SDGs oriented, and many other techniques, tips, and tricks to teach English language. So I hope educators out there, you can get in touch with me in order to get connected with IELTA around the globe and also IELTA India as well. It is a free platform for the teachers to learn quite a number of techniques in order to improve further in English language teaching.
Yeah, that's wonderful. You have been doing a great work through this. And
Thank
ma'am, can you just tell me, like, yes, especially after the pandemic, if we see, we have started using technology, especially like the online trainings and the webinars that you were telling. So, what do you think is the impact of technology in today's education?
Thank you so much, Dr. Anjum, for asking this question. Actually, prior to pandemic, I only use Microsoft PowerPoint, Microsoft Word document in order to prepare reports and also probably to show some slides for my students. And I was more into like engaging my students using the textbook given by Ministry of Education of Malaysia, and to make them understand, to prepare them for examination, and using all kind of techniques that we use communicative approach, we use quite number of approaches in order to teach the students. Prior to pandemic, actually I think a few months before pandemic, actually Microsoft Malaysia, they have conducted like a workshop in some regions, and one of the places was in Tawau, where I stay in East Malaysia. So a good friend of mine, Madam Jumiati, she organized with these experts from Microsoft Malaysia. So for 5 days, during that particular school holiday, they were teaching us, those whoever teachers attended the workshop, they were teaching us how to use Flipgrid in education, how to use Wakelet in education, how to use, for example, Minecraft in education to engage the students and their creativity, and also some other tools, how to use Microsoft, basically Microsoft tools in order to engage the learners, and also how we as educator, we can learn to use the technology. So that was an eye opener for me. So I became like a little girl who was full of fear to face the learners in order to engage them using technology. The next day, the next week, when I entered the class, one of the classes, I was like, I had a fear. Because you know why, students of 21st century, they are very much equipped with gadgets. You just give them the gadgets, they know what to do. Sometimes you will be wondering how to go about, you have to Google to find information. But these students, I think they are not born with LAD, language acquisition device, but they are born with technology devices in their brain, so they can explore everything. So when I see the capability of my students, I had a fear that if I did not use technology, I might be left behind, and I am not depriving my students, not only depriving myself from learning technology, but also depriving my students creativity level and also 21st century learning skills in order to learn through technology out there. So at the same time, being the head of the English language panel, I want to give as much as I can for my English language panel teachers and also teachers around me. So due to that, from that workshop, the knowledge from the workshop, what I did was, since I was not an expert at that time, I used with my learners, for example, Flipgrid. I'm sure during this pandemic, you ever heard about Flipgrid, Wakelet, Kahoot, and all that, right? So I used one tool that time, was Microsoft. I use Flipgrid. So Flipgrid I use for my students to record their speaking, for listening and speaking, so that I can assess them, because I can't assess all the students, 30 students in 1 hour. So due to that, I train my students, how to use Flipgrid, how to send the recording for the assessment that I'm doing, and also for the classroom activities. So from there, I started to develop my own, my own potential in discovering that I love using technology. So from there, I follow up with my mentors. As I mentioned earlier, people from Microsoft. She's one of the persons that She usually helped me whenever I have problem. Madam, Dr. Azma, she used to be my mentor. So I used to ask her if I have any problem. I used to ask her how to go about it and all that. And I have many other mentors. So by learning using the technology, it was quite easy for me to implement the usage of digital tools during pandemic. So because in Ministry of Education, we have this digital platform given for free for students and Malaysian government school educators, where we can use Google, we can use Microsoft, we can use Apple, and also we can use one more is these three technologies we can use for free in the platform. So I was more into Microsoft, so I use Microsoft Teams and all the digital tools related to Microsoft. And many other educators, they use Google Classroom and Google related tools. So from there, I noticed that things became easy for me, where if you notice, like in your own setting, I'm sure the student, not many students are able to join online classes because they have to use, they have to, what do you call, share gadgets with the parents, laptops, handphones. Sometimes they do not have the data. Sometimes they are living in an area where there's no internet connectivity, but they can get WhatsApp connectivity and Telegram at a certain timing. So due to that, what I did was I create my online digital classrooms using Microsoft Teams, and I keep all the materials, all the videos, my teaching videos, any resources, everything in Microsoft Teams. So my students can just click the link and they can visit the classroom 24/7 according to their convenience. If at all any students, they can't get access to anywhere, WhatsApp or Telegram or Microsoft Teams, or any other tools, I will print out the modules and send to the guard house, and the parents, they were able to collect those modules from them. And I always believe, after using the digital tools, I found that after pandemic, okay, now I'm still an advocate for using technology, because technology making things easy, making my students to learn more, and making them to understand more things. Okay, I just have to send them, let's say, a Wakelet. I create what they call classrooms in Wakelet, and I just send them materials at the link. They will have to read some information prior to the session. So once they are in the classroom, we will be doing a lot of discussions and group work and all that. Then they will have to upload their work either in Flipgrid or Wakelet, and they can revisit whatever they have submitted at any time around. Unlike if you're marking their work using the exercise book and all that, probably they might misplace it, sometimes they might not bring, sometimes they do not know which page to flip and all that. Unlike with the digitalization, they can visit the classroom at any time using short acronym and all that, they can find easily. Not only that, the parents are also getting help from the teachers, especially from my classroom. That is, they get the link, they get to see their children's own work, either the video presentation, the written essay, and so on. And this batch of classrooms work, I can show to the following year's students, upcoming sessions or upcoming students, in order for them to get the sample, to get the ideas, in order to make my teaching easier. And so much so, I can't enter my classroom, Dr. Anjum, daily without my basket. Where in the basket, I don't have it now, otherwise I can show you, it's downstairs. Where in the basket, I have my projector, I have the speaker, I have the connecting wires, cables, and then I have this pen drive and all that, for me to set up in the classroom just for 5 minutes in order to run my session. Because students nowadays, I notice, they are not rigid like those days. They want to see something moving. Let's say you're talking about, let's say you're going to teach a story entitled Cinderella. You don't want to be blabbering to them about Cinderella. They don't want to listen to you about that. So you can show a video of something that's showing the introduction before you teach them about the story, the characters, the plot, the moral values and all that, or essay about it. but you have to show them some kind of videos that will create their interest, will make them to feel interested in your lesson. So this kind of engagements can be done using digital tools, rather than as an educator you ended up talking and talking and talking and you feel so tired. So with the technology embedded so well in 21st century, we have this communication. We want our students to master the communication, critical thinking, creative thinking, and also this digital knowledge, collaboration, communication, everything. For me, I really like to use technology. Yeah, I can't enter my class without my projector, without the teaching materials which I've already saved and downloaded from YouTube and many other resources. So for me, technology is important, but there are many teachers out there. They are also doing wonders without technology. It depends on which do you prefer, a classroom with technology or a classroom without technology. It's the teacher's choice. For me, I am a technology advocate and I prefer and I love using technology and engage other educators to use technology. So technology is part and parcel of my teaching. Yeah, as compared to 15 years back, I think 16 years back, I was not using technology, but yet my students were doing well. But now with technology, my teaching has become more easier, more exciting for my students to learn. Yeah. So that's it. I think I answered your question.
Yeah, yeah, sure, ma'am. Yeah, that's and really great to know. Yes, we should be using the technology. Well, it depends on the teachers whether they have to use or not. But yes, as right you said, the you today's generation they just don't like listening so much to what we are saying. So if you're using some extra tools, like you said about the videos and some kind of such extra materials, so obviously the classes become interesting. And because we have the access to technology, we must be using it. It really makes the classes more interesting and interactive.
Yes.
Yeah, ma'am. Next, I would like to know about yes, you are the SDGs planner and coordinator. So something about this.
Okay. Actually, in Malaysian textbooks, we have, especially for English language, we have one unit talking about SDGs indirectly. For example, saving the environment, how to reduce the usage of plastics and things like that. So I was engaging my learners up to the textbook level and, just give them the knowledge. But during this pandemic, I joined in global platforms, and there are many educators from India who are actually my mentors, like Madam Paramjit Kaur, Madam Kalyani. These are the few people I can mention to you because they are the content creators for projects. So once they have projects related to SDGs, but recently I joined a project with Dr. Kalyani Rao from India, where she has done this project called Suchana, UN SDG goals, where we have students engagement using 21st century, where we get the students to collect plastic waste, thousands of kilograms of plastic waste managed to collected by the students, and we taught the students how to do plantation, and we also get the students to draw in order to get the students to understand what is SDG all about. We cannot directly tell them, hello, look here, under UN SDG there are 17 goals, blah blah blah. Instead of doing that, get them to draw something, or the UN SDGs related any one of the goals. You just expose to them, ask them to color. Then from there, for example, let's say you want your students to understand the concept of taking care of environment as a shared responsibilities, probably reducing what they can reduce the use of plastic, say no to plastic. So what can they do? Collect, they find the plastics that is available, the waste plastic that are available, that is available from their own house. So from there, you need to explain to them the harmfulness of plastics, microplastics to the environment, to the sea creatures and all that. So from the baby steps, you develop into a bigger part. Then you get the students to enroll in SDG oriented projects. So from there, the students will be learning step by step what are they supposed to do. So at the moment, currently, what I'm doing with my panel teachers is that I'm getting the students to collect plastic waste from the school, from the house, wash the plastic waste, dry them nicely, bring to school, and then 10 minutes on every Wednesday, we have committee member students to collect the plastic waste and put in a place where we are collecting for recyclers to collect the plastic waste, and also training the students to make upcycling prototypes in order to use it from their for themselves instead of throwing the plastic waste. And then, so much so, the students are asked to do some research on how microplastics are dangerous for the sea creatures, oceans, and all that. And apart from that, the students, with the technology embedment, what the students are doing is that I'm bringing my students, they can't go to Romania, they can't go to India, they can't go to Belarus, they can't go to some countries. What I'm doing is that I'm getting the help from SDG advocate teachers and also other English language teachers to bring their students to collaborate with my students in as simple as 1 hour engagement, introduce about themselves, introduce about our countries, introduce our cultures, and slowly engage them in SDG oriented projects like rubbish collection, recycling, and also making tote bags, how to make tote bags. I had session with an educator called Swati Bakshi from India. You know, we have many Indian educators who are very hardworking in order to train other educators and students. So she came to my classroom and she taught my students, you know, the waist t-shirts. She taught them step by step how to measure the t-shirts nicely and how to cut the sleeves, how to make the tote bag in 1 hour session. So from there, the students learn that instead of using plastic bag and buying another shopping bag, they can use the huge t-shirts to make tote bag. So from there, I started to develop my passion in learning about SDGs, engaging local and global educators. But I'm thankful to these two educators, Dr. Kalyani Rao and Paramjit ma'am, because they always involve me as the coordinators in their projects as well. So I've done quite a number of projects with them. So if any other educators who are planning to start any SDG oriented projects in my local setting, especially, I guide them through and I pull them to global or local SDG oriented projects, video making, and then quite a number of projects I pull them, especially for SDG 4 as well. So every Thursday in our district, we are having district collaboration where we get district educators and students to make the students to learn English, because as you know, English is a second language in Malaysia. So many students are struggling to learn and to speak English. So we few educators in the district, we join on every Thursday for 1 hour, 4 to 5 p.m. Malaysian time. We conduct SDGs and non-SDGs oriented project for our students, for them to speak in breakout rooms, and inviting global educators to be the speakers for our students for 1 hour. Rain or shine, we will run the project. As for today, tomorrow, we have been doing this project, this collaboration for our district students for 56 weeks for since these 3 years. So this is a kind of achievement for us in the district, because as an educator, we want to give opportunities not only to our students, not only to our teachers in the school, but also to others outside of the school, globally, internationally, locally, so that many will get the benefits. So this is my policy. I do not want only myself to come up. I want people around me, the educators, to come up in their, you know, whatever projects they're doing, and also the students. So eventually you are creating networking. So when you create networking, ma'am, you will get a lot of help. Let's say today I have any things in my mind, I will share my ideas with my global educators. They will say, why don't you do like this, right? Then the project will be developed, and then we can do wonders actually. So you don't work alone. You work with many people, you build your networking, and you get a lot of help. So Rome was not built in a day. So you can't accept success in a day. So still, as an what should I say? As an educator teaching for 23 years, I still feel there are a lot of things I have to learn from other educators. See? So when you have that passion to learn, there is no ending. And then you will be developing more and more, not only for your students, but also for others. Yes. So I love to engage with people. I love to teach people, and I don't keep things to myself. That that is how I work.
Oh, that's wonderful, ma'am. And like, yes, if we keep things to ourselves, that is not going to help. In fact, it is said that knowledge it increases or it improves by sharing it with others, and that's what you have been doing. And yes, working in teams can do wonders. It is not possible to work alone and like achieve so many things that like we think of achieving this, that, or not whatever changes that we want to make. It cannot be done alone. And you have been doing a wonderful task, like especially about the SDGs that you are working on, and the way you told about the projects, like a simple T-shirt, how you are converting it into the bags and all. That's really it's amazing to know. And this is what the magic of like the beyond education sees that we have. We have people from some different countries and different parts of the world, and they share their experiences because ma'am, like the problems are the wheels and the environment everywhere. It is different. So
Yes.
we, so with the help of those such kind of events, we come to know about what is happening in other countries also. So that's really a
Yes.
great learning
Exactly.
experience.
Exactly.
And yes,
Very true.
yeah, yes, ma'am. So like you have been doing a lot of work. So I wanted to know about some of your achievements.
All right. Thank you so much, Doctor, for asking that. But actually, I'm a person that usually I will be forgetting of what I achieve. I will be happy of my achievement, but along the line, I'll be thinking about how can I help others. So, along this line, I've been collaborating with many educators and many students from my own setting and globally. So far, I have been given as an excellent English language teacher from Ministry of Education, and I've achieved twice as excellent service educator in the Ministry of Education. And in my own setting, I've been awarded as the EdTech advocate for digitalization. I've been given the recognition in Malaysian level by Microsoft Malaysia, and I'm working closely with the State Education Department and District Education Department. And also at the same time in my district, I've been given this award as the technology advocate last year as well. And AKS Global Teacher Award, I've been awarded as the recipient in 2022 last year. And at the same time, many Indian organizations, they have given me many recognition certificates for Teachers Day, for World Environmental Day, and few other achievements. Under Paranjit Ma'am, I've joined this e-waste international project last year, and ma'am submitted this project. It's actually Paramjit's ma'am project. She submitted this particular project to Microsoft Education E2. We call this Education Exchange last year, and this project actually won the first place in SDGs related competition globally. That is the greatest achievement. And this year, last year, I've joined the Suchana for UN SDG project. Under the project head is Dr. Kalyani Rao from India. And Suchana managed to get a lot of reach outs. And Kalyani ma'am, she has actually given me recognition certificates with qualified, with recognition QR code from UK. So these are some of the achievements that I really treasure. In IELTA last week, I have been awarded as one of the best country ambassadors, active ambassadors certificate recognition. And four of my members have been awarded as most active members in Malaysia. And also most active learners. I'm also in IELTA, the main team. So I've been awarded as one of the best as well learners departments head among with other of my colleagues in that department. So there are quite a number of achievements I get. But all these achievements are actually the hard work from my students and also the educators that I work along. So anything comes to me, it's actually because of my selfless, what do I say, selfless. I do not count the time that I'm online. Anytime anybody asks my favor, I'll be there. I will try my best to say no to any request, because when I was trembling during the initial days to use technology in education, as I said, I started from scratch, zero. So there are many people around the globe and also in Microsoft Malaysia and also in my district. They help me whenever I need them. So this is a time for me to help others. So I come up in such a way that it was not an easy path, but I struggled, and practice makes perfect. So I believe that when you help some people, the people will help you back. So these are some of my characteristics for the success in my career, in my path as a global educator actually.
Yes, that's wonderful, ma'am. And like you were talking about struggles, so can you just tell about some kind of struggles or challenges that you have faced? As you said, yes, you started from scratch. So what are
Yes.
the difficulties that you have faced?
You see, whenever I touch the mouse in order to, let's say, to use an app, let's say Flipgrid at initial days, when I was using few years back. So I always have fear, how am I going to use my learners, if anything technical glitch happens, I used to have like stress, I used to feel that, oh my goodness, what am I going to do next, what am I supposed to do. So these were the fears that I had gone through, and technical issues, technical glitches and all that. But I never give up. I always immediately will contact my friends, fellow educators, global educators, in order to assist me how to go about to settle the problem. So I will always write down. I will always, even though I'm going digital, doctor, I will always have this on. You can see, right? I will always have book, diary, whatever that I feel I'm having difficulties. Let's say you are telling me the points, I will write them down nicely. I don't know whether you can see this or not. I will write them down nicely. Let me remove the background. I will write them nicely so that I will follow up after I get information. Okay, I will follow up after I get information. For example, yeah, I think you can see this now. So I will write down, okay, in my diary. So whatever information I need, okay. So I will write down nicely, and then I will try to read what I've written, and I will practice. Okay, I will practice on my own, and now everything is available on YouTube. So you just Google how to use this, how to use that. So how to create breakout rooms in Zoom, blah 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 blah. So you just Google, and you will get the answers, especially. But if at all it is not available on YouTube, so I will get answers, ideas from other global educators. So struggles are everywhere. So everywhere and every minute is a struggle for us in our life. But we have to decide how to overcome, right? How to overcome and how to plan nicely. So I need to balance, yeah, doctor, because I'm married with two children. I have aged mom. I am an educator who is always active on toes. I don't like to sit still in the school. I like to do planning for my educators in the panel, for my students, and also other students of my teachers. I find opportunities, and now I'm a global educator. I'm engaged with quite a number of projects with global educators. So I will have to plan how to balance my time for my work, my family, and also my passion in engaging my students with global and local educators. So I feel the God has given us 24 hours. So if you plan nicely, you will meet a lot of good people out there. You are going to learn a lot. So once you are learning a lot, you will feel that even 24 hours is more than enough for you. So for me, planning is very important. So I have this planner book. I will write down, block my dates, my timing, everything accordingly, nicely, for my family, for my engagement, for my students, everything. Because for me, engagements of my students are very important. That is my core business. I want my students to come up, be somebody in their life, even though they're elementary school students. They are, whether they are weak in English language, they have the average proficiency, or they have the high proficiency. I will find projects for them in order for them to be content creators, to present, to prepare Bansi, to prepare PowerPoint slides, as simple as 2-3 slides, in order to present via Zoom to outsiders in global platforms. So I am always on the move to find opportunities for my students. I do not just focus on my textbook given by Ministry of Education, that is my core business, to achieve the objectives that have been outlined in the scheme of work from the Ministry of Education. But apart from that, as a teacher, I advocate most of my time in traveling around the globe together with my students. I break them up. Let's say I have 90 students, doctor, I can't be expecting all the 90 students to be active in all the projects, because our fingers are not the same. Same goes to our students. So I have 90 students. Let's say I have one project related to plastic campaign, reduce plastic waste or what. Maybe 10, 20 students are interested in that. So I create one small WhatsApp group for them, this project. And now I'm in Goals project. It's another international project. I have around 30 students with me. So I create a WhatsApp group with them. I have another exclusive and inclusive project in Poland. I have 6 students. So I create another WhatsApp group for them. So being a teacher, my brain is like focusing on one after another. And I need to have this book in order to keep track of my students' progress, the deadlines, and when to submit, what to submit, which platform to submit, when is the meeting with the global educators, blah 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 blah, and all that. So I'm doing extra miles for my students actually. So there'll be a day, okay, that I need to retire. Then after that, definitely I want to relax. But till then, I want to give as much as possible for the educators around me, for students in my setting. So those are my core business, apart from looking after my family. Yes.
Ma'am, that is wonderful, ma'am, that you want to work so much, and especially like you have the thing, the planning, to have all the plans, you just write down and then you go for executing it. So that's a wonderful thing that you have been doing, and especially for the students. Yes, and it is one more quality of an educator, that we should be recognizing the interest of the students, and then we should try to like work on them, assign projects or assign activities accordingly so that they can improve. And yes,
Yes.
you're really helping so many students to grow up, I think.
Thank you
So,
so much, Doctor.
yeah, yeah, ma'am. And yes, ma'am, who are your role models?
My role model first is my mom. She's my first role model because, I mean, from what I see is that my mom, from her younger days until now, she is there for me as a pillar. Not only she took care of myself and my brother, but but when my kids were born, until now, my mom is there as a pillar to look after them, to even look after my food, to look after the family affairs and all that. So there are times that I'm very busy, bringing my students virtually and also engaging with projects and all that. I will be just sitting in front of the laptop. So my mom, she understands me too well, and she will help me out in any way around to not to disturb my work, and she will be helping me, to prepare food, to prepare, look after the children, things like that. So since my mom is there for me, so that is one of the, I would say, one of the advantages that I have to be engaged at this much of time. So I'm lucky in that way. So she is one of my greatest role models apart from my mentors. I mentioned Dr. Asma, Madam Jumiati, and few other educators. So apart from that, also those people are my mentors as well. So my first mentor is actually my mom. Yes, she's everything for me, and until now she's there to look after everything when I'm busy. Otherwise it's very difficult, during my children when they were young, I can't leave them and go for my engagements and all that, but she was there to look after them. So I think that is one of the ways, one of the I would say, um, one of the what I should say, one of the elements that actually helping me to stay focused in whatever I'm doing, because I have a pillar to to sustain whatever I'm doing. Yeah, my mom.
Yeah, that's great. It's really great to know, ma'am. And yes,
Thank you.
always, most of the time, the parents are our role models because they are always there to support us. In fact, our parents are always our best friends. They're always there for us.
Indeed,
And yeah,
indeed, ma'am.
yeah. And yes, now, nextly, I would like to know some of your future goals.
Future goals. Okay, my future goals actually is that I would like to engage my students in more sustainable development goals projects, and to make them not only joining the project, but they need to take shared responsibilities in applying whatever they are learning in order to care for the environment under UN SDG goals. So that is one of my goals. And also, at the same time, to engage more local educators to join these global SDGs or non SDG projects in order to get as much opportunities as possible, not only for themselves, but also for the learners in their own setting. And also, I'm planning to bring this Thursday virtual primary class, which I'm doing with my local students and educators, as I mentioned earlier, Dr. Anjum. Every Thursday we are doing. I wish to bring these students and educators to a different level so that they will get the more benefits in joining this project. And to make this project a success depends on the students' involvement and also the teachers. And for myself, actually, I'm halfway completing my education doctorate. So I hope to continue my dissertation and complete my education doctorate, which I have been procrastinating. So I hope to complete my education doctorate soon in next 2 years. And my main goal is actually to engage my learners. That is my core business. Yes, to empower more students and more educators in as many projects as possible. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a wonderful example to know to
Yes.
empower your students. And of course, like all the best wishes for your doctorate and hope you complete it very soon. And ma'am, before ending the show, a short message from you for all our audience.
Okay. For me, as an educator, of course, we have family commitments. We have our own family to look after, our core business, that is teaching in the classroom, teaching in the school, and we are so busy. How busy we are also, I would like to encourage more educators out there. Please join webinar sessions. For example, IDYM is organizing a lot of webinars, a lot of talks and all that. Please join the webinar session, get to know more educators, and also join many SDGs or non-SDG projects in order to learn and also engage, not only empowering your students to be proficient and efficient as a 21st century learning students, but also getting to know more global educators in order to engage and learn more. Because nowadays, what I notice is that many of us, we are very busy in our own teaching, and we only manage to complete our textbooks, and we are only confining ourselves to activities related to the textbooks and all that. So try to divert yourself, Try to come out from the textbook setting. Teach them about the textbook content, everything as your core business, and take initiative, extra time, little bit, join these global educators or local educators, bring projects to your classroom, bring projects to your local district educator, bring the projects and expose as much as yourself you can in this kind of engagements. So for what I am 16 years back, I used to be very timid. I used to be very much into my own classroom, my own school, in my own setting. But once I discovered this Microsoft Malaysia, it's the beauty of the usage of technology and all that, I'm becoming more open-minded. I'm becoming, I want to know more people, more educators. I want to engage with many people and not only stereotype doing the same thing. So I have friends in many circles, not only in my own school, in my own setting, and I have to date, I've done many projects for my students from different countries. And all my students, to my surprise, if let's say we are doing any connection, any collaboration, if let's say anything goes wrong with my internet connection, I do not have to worry at all, ma'am. They will complete the collaboration, they will take selfies, they will video record everything, they will finish off everything, and they will update me. Ma'am, we have done everything, you don't have to worry. If at all anything happens to my line. So this kind of students we need to create. Okay, not only focusing in development of our own career, development of our own setting, whatever we are thinking of, not being too ambitious for us, but we need to balance. So like what I'm doing, I want to come up, I want my students to come up, and I want my panel teachers to come up. So I want to give opportunities for everybody. So when you have this mindset, some or other you will get more opportunities, more doors are open to you, and you do not know which one to choose. So for me, I'm getting the doors, every now and then I'm getting a lot of opportunities because I give many opportunities for others. I don't keep anything for myself, but I like to engage with people. So be open, share with others, and create a global community networking. Definitely you will find success. If you are working alone, teachers, you'll be very tired of doing so many things by yourself, and you can't achieve much. Your achievement today is, like for myself, my achievement today is actually not for myself, for my students, from my global educators friends, from their advice. And yeah, you must be open for any criticism. Don't think we are perfect, so you must be open for criticism, and don't criticize people all the time, because we do not want to be that kind of people. Be genuine, help people, and you can achieve more. This is what I hold, and this is what I teach my students. This is what I teach my own children also. So with God's grace, I hope all of you will be successful. Thank you so much to IDYM Foundation, Dr. Ravi Shankarji, Dr. Kali Charan for approaching me. I was a bit afraid, Dr. Kali, actually, when he approached me. So, and Dr. Anjum, you made the session so lively and you make things easy for me. I'm at ease actually, but before that I was a bit nervous what questions you're going to ask. So thank you so much for getting more insights from my setting. And I'm more than willing to share my best practices so that other teachers out there, you are able to get the benefits. And of course, we can collaborate in the future. Yeah, that's all, Dr. Anjum.
Yeah, that's really great to know, ma'am. And the way you have been working is really awesome. You're creating opportunities for everyone. And yes, this is the need of the educators should not be limited to textbooks or the classroom. They have to work beyond the textbooks. They have to create opportunities for the students, for the fellow teachers. And that's a great message that was given by you. It was really an inspiring session, as we call inspiring stories to inspire the world. Yes, that was a very inspiring session. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining with us and sharing your story with us.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
ma'am.
Dr. Anjum.
And also
Bye.
thank you to the founder of IDYN Group of Companies, Ravi Shankar sir, and Dr. Sali Churun sir, for his efforts in bringing